It's Mike Ross, the nation's sexiest comedian, the nation's only stripper comedian, the nation's #1 side nigga, national touring comedian. I'll be in the city near you. Check me out in your town. Check me out in your city. Ladies, make sure you come through and don't miss out on another amazing show as always. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Welcome to another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. I'm your brother, O God, from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What up, y'all? It's your man Sam, Ant, CEO of Viral Hip Hop News. You're in the building for a very special edition of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. We got a special guest back in the building. I think this is round 3. Yeah. With us and a good brother, Spider Loke. What's going on, family? How you feeling?
Man, everything uncensored. I'm blessed, man. Blessed to be here. JITA is an acronym I push. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's an acronym for gratitude is the attitude. So I try to remain right there in that pocket, regardless of what the circumstances are. So I want to holler and salute and send a JITA to both of y'all. JITA.
Absolutely, man. Likewise, brother. Definitely appreciate the love. Been some time, man. Got some years in this game together, bro. So how's everything going, man? It's been some time since we talked, man. Catch us up real quick before we get to the meat and the potatoes of what we're going to talk about, man. What you got going on, bro, and how you been feeling, man, most importantly.
I've been blessed. And I'm going to insert JITA again because, you know, complaints can come if you choose. However, I tend to focus on the positive. And there's a lot of positive going on. And since you spoke on our history, I want to say I really appreciate our dynamic because for those who know, I learned and we displayed a way to healthily debate about issues and still maintain a relationship where there was no disrespect. Mm-hmm. Some people even would call it an argument, call it explosive. Mm-hmm. And for the general public, if you had to weigh it or judge it, the majority of the people felt like I won the debate. Mm-hmm. And the way you guys took it so gracefully and came and doubled back and gave me my respect, I try to practice that. I get involved in a lot of controversial conversations, but it's hard to find that what we had. Right. It's like shit go left, crazy, niggas getting their emotions, can't take it. So I just appreciated y'all journalism at that point because y'all look like regular hip-hop niggas like me. Right. I didn't expect for you guys to be so mature about it. So I've learned that from our interaction, and I try to take that with me since then as I've been doing this.
That confrontation, I don't even call it confrontation. That interaction we had originally was kind of one of the situations that kind of made us steer in the direction we went into because at that time we were naive. I know I personally was naive to the reach we had. You feel me? And when we had the disagreement that we had, it caught me off guard because I was like, damn, I didn't know that bro felt that way. But once he did, it was my job to make sure I made that right because it was never nothing personal. And that's what we see going on right now is motherfuckers getting their feelings and their ego is tested so crazy to where they feel like they got to react in a manner that, I got to get that back. That dude can't get that shit off on me. Mm-hmm. But now we grown men. And when it goes to that level, those are levels that you can't come back from. So I had to dead that shit right there. Make sure that we was on the same page. And if we never talked again, at least you knew it was never any disrespect. And I'm glad we were where we are, bro. Real talk.
It takes courage to do something like that. That's why I appreciate it. Just here recently this week, this loose coochie cannon cat, he spoke on my name way back in the years. Yeah. So when I seen him going viral and the little clip when he spoke on me popped up in the algorithm, you know, I was reminded from within that there's no expiration on disrespect. So I jumped in to start trolling him the way he did me a long time ago. And in the process, when I woke up the next day, the city, my phone was on fire. Everybody in the city that knew him better than me was trying to give me information and intel of how to further destroy his character online. Right. And in the process, his father was mentioned. And people said some negative things of his father, tried to put a jacket on him, snitch jacket. And me being so eager to, like you say, strike back, next time I got on my platform, I just was rambling off facts and information directed toward him. And I mentioned his father's predicament. And the next day, I got basically a reach out from his father, just basically asked me what paperwork I saw. Fuck what I heard, who told me, how convinced I am or was. All that didn't matter. The fact of the matter is, you can't jump out here and put a jacket on somebody if you can't not even confirm it and you haven't seen it. So I had to come back on my platform, swallow that, and then deliver what we would consider an apology. But it's just because I'm concerned with my word being my word. I don't want to leave nothing hanging.
For sure.
On that.
For sure. Yeah, so, man, how you feel about it's a lot of people dropping a lot of paperwork now. You got 1090 Jake, Wack 100. Every time you look on his Instagram, he's dropping somebody's paperwork. How you feel about that, man? And how credible is a lot of this paperwork floating around on the internet? And how could you tell if it's real or not, for real?
Well, I'm fully aware there's the potential and the possibility to forge any type of document. Right. But I think the assumption that, or the declaration, oh, that's fake, is used too much. Yeah. I think that's the first thing somebody said is to try to get, the shit off their back. I don't think, because one thing is, once something has a case number and all that, there's always another copy that can be acquired from elsewhere other than the one we viewing. So if it's a situation serious enough for any individual involved that needs to go and get the actual facts of the matter, it can be done. If you want to be involved in the circus of the internet politicking on it, you got to realize you're going to be dealing with the potential of not having all the pieces if you're going to factor in that people can't forge documents. So that leaves you at a fucking standstill a little bit, but I don't believe the majority of what 1090 Jake does, if not all of it, has not been verified. Not to pump what he does or promote it. I believe he does do his due diligence and make sure these paperwork he get come from an official place. I can say that. He comes across at least as that much efficient.
Do you feel some type of way that he's a Caucasian white dude that's putting paperwork out? Did that move you any type of way?
Slightly, somewhat, yeah.
Yeah.
I do. But I still don't stand in total judgment or anti it. But I don't, because to single him out, and then we'll have to take away the Adams and the Vlads and the bootleg Cavs and a lot of people.
Right.
The Milk Sevenfold.
Now we know, right? Because we've been in this game for a long time, and we be naive and dumb as hell to think that drama don't move this shit, right? As much as we try to stay as positive as we can and stay in the right direction, you know damn well something positive will get you 1,000 views, and something on the negative side will get you 400 or 500 racks. It's just the nature of the game. So we try to make sure that we put the food within the candy and make sure that we give you something sweet, but at the end of the day, you're getting some nourishment within what you think you're consuming, which is the drama. But it does seem like it's getting kind of fucking out of hand when you see certain people kind of now playing this game with real lives. We out here playing checkers with real lives, and people, for example, like this, we talked about it yesterday, and that's kind of the video that we put up yesterday about Wack 142 Doug and Offset. We don't know these brothers from a can of paint, never talked. We talked to Wack for a little bit, but never met any of them, right? But from the outside looking in, when you see this grown-ass man kind of laying out the situation where sensitive egos are involved, it kind of seems like you're stirring up a pot of some shit that can have some real damaging ramifications behind it. What do you think about that, bro? We on to something when we say that? Or like, obviously the drama is where we need to go, but
I want to commend your coverage. I'm sorry. First of all, I want to commend your coverage of that little situation, because at first I thought y'all was like being too neutral. Y'all was so slick and slithery. Y'all was talking. I'm like, man, these niggas. Then y'all took a stance. I'm like, okay. But that's the same similar situation he did when he went on No Jumper and insinuated that Nipsey Hussle's murder could have been motivated by Big U being afraid that he's going to take over his grid contract.
Exactly.
He's a provocateur. And the cool part about it is he's highly involved vocally in incidents that have absolutely, totally nothing to do with him or his immediate environment or politics. Right. He is whoring his energy about to all like a whore does. He's just wants attention so bad. He wants to be involved. See what you see when you see Ho No Hunted, how we refer to Wack on my platform. You see an individual, imagine you always wanting to be in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. You weren't quite that athletic. You didn't even really make the team, but you were an expert at Madden. And when you get in that motherfucking seat and you get your controller and that big screen, you're in the fucking game. You even made a creative player. You don't play the regular stage. You got your name on your back. That's Ho No Hunted. To y'all who didn't live out here, when y'all turn your screen, the West Coast landscape that you respected all these years, he can't believe y'all see him and y'all view him as a part of it. And that's all it is. Mm. So he's caught up in this metaverse.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that.
Is he really, since you got there,
is that my connection?
You hearing us kind of chopped up?
No, I just see myself doing the robot.
Yeah, you were chopping up a little bit, but we got you. We hearing what you're saying, but it chopped up a little bit. We got you though, bro.
So is he really, since you out, you know, a lot of the politics in LA, is he really like connected in the streets like that and connected and respected in the streets?
Hell no. He's more connected than respected due to the fact that the streets are looking for a way out. And he had access to the industry. So therefore, his interest in the streets was kind of mutual with the streets because he had something that he could dangle as opportunity. But that did not equate to street respect like he thought it did. Mm. It's just like right now. If motherfucking Kim Kardashian want to look out for the ghetto, we not turning it down, but that don't make her a G.
Word. Okay, understood.
But he took that as if, oh, these niggas is fuck with me because I can help them. You see, as he runs around and try to explain his importance throughout the years, it's always, I paid for this. I looked out for that. I did this for that nigga. Nigga, you was paying your way. Mm. That was the only reason you was able to hang. You paid to play. And then when he got into a safe, secure cyber cell, because you know what a cell soldier is. A cell soldier is someone on the other side of the bars that says things to you that would never say on the opposite side. So once he got in that safe place, he's turned into an individual that no man that has ever met him before has seen. And I've known him for 20 years, and I know others that have known him for 20 years. None of us have ever seen him behave with that type of aggression toward any individual in person. It's never happened, never been witnessed.
Wow.
Cell soldier shit. Why if you got the keys to Big U house and the 6 O's is your backyard, like you claim, how do you fall out and get tough on the microphone? Why he didn't hear none of this face to face?
Word.
You said he got bad knees. He can't defend himself. What you scared of?
Yeah.
Shout out to Big U, Nightbud.
You know what? Let's talk about Big U real quick because we interviewed him a couple years ago. Solid brother. Everything that he said when he looked behind his camera seemed genuine as hell, but we're not there. We don't know the politics in LA or how Big U is looked at. And from what we see now, look like a proud father looking at his son succeed. Looks like a man that's transitioned in his life and got out of some bullshit and now doing the right thing. And we salute that over here, but we're not there. We don't know exactly how Big U is looked at. So how's Big U looked at amongst, you know what I mean, LA in the streets and where you at right now, bro? How is Big U looked at, I should say?
Big U is generally viewed the way that you assume that the world viewed him. You know, right. It's kind of like a Carlitos way situation. And what you guys got to realize is they trying to mix a good person with a nigga that's good in the street. Now, Big U is trying to transform himself into a good person. He's doing things community-based. However, there's no secret, no mystery to the fact that his past is dark as fuck. Mm-hmm. So, and you got somebody trying to antagonize. Imagine you on a spectrum from worst to best. And as you go in that direction, you got a little buddy trying to that you no longer fuck with because he was caught up on a wiretap in a murder. When you figured that out, now he's upset and trying to point out the imperfections in your transformation from worst to best. Mm-hmm. Big U is not a motherfucking Catholic priest that's getting exposed for being involved in street criminal activities.
Right.
He's a motherfucker that came from the pits of the abyss of the bottom of the darkness of this gangster shit and is slowly transcended the opposite way. So if somewhere along the way he was caught up in some type of gangster shit, all right, we know that. That might be the case. But he's got to the point where he has washed his hands totally of that type of shit, and he trying to do something different. Can't nobody smut him as far as the information that's already been presented. I'm not from 60s. It's a lot of inner politics going on over there. But however, a large majority of what's been discussed has been presented to the public. And he ain't bad by none of that. There's another issue they try to throw around with the grid program. I ain't gonna lie. When the cat that first exposed the contract put it online and I read the contract, I went on my platform and said, I know Big U didn't sign this bullshit. The Big U signed this ain't no good. But then after further investigation and not just talking to Big U, but my G homies who are also on the program, that was not the contract that they signed. That is what was proposed initially. And then it went back and forth like how contracts do in the music game and any other negotiation. And you red market and you return it. And they eventually signed a totally different agreement than that.
So let me see. Let me ask you. What I ask you real quick is, you said that like there was politics within the 60s. And sorry, with all due respect, like what's the difference between sets in LA? Like what makes one Crip set different than another? If you can answer that.
Just the geographical location.
Okay.
And then from there, through the years, people have broken down their section to align with different sections under a whole lot of different things. That's a whole college course. But for the most part, Crip supposed to represent and stand for the same thing universally, and then based on your geographical location is your sect of that Crip umbrella that we all represent.
Got you. So not to speak on what's going on directly with the 60s because you don't have involvement with that, but why would you see inner fighting within the same set? Why would that be a situation that goes down?
You know, it's been like that for them in particular for decades. And if I had to just throw it out there, what I would assume the major elements that led to that being that type of environment over there, the niggas is rich rolling. They were some Crips that was known for having bread. And you know when you got a bunch of niggas and money, that's why Big Meech used to always say there ain't never been a gang with this many niggas, with this much money, and no war in between us. So when you got a bunch of savages that's already street invested with this shit, and then you throw money in the pot and it don't necessarily evenly spread around, got a perfect recipe.
Yeah, very true.
Not saying that all they beef started directly over money.
Right.
I just would assume once all those elements got in the pot, you know, shit got to cooking.
Right.
Let's transition and talk about, was a documentary released on World Star the other day.
Shout out Deuce Sims. That's my brother Deuce Sims that produced that.
Yeah, he's on Friday. We got him on Friday.
Yeah, and I don't know how
he got him on Friday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He's on Friday.
Yeah. I'm not sure how he got the documentary on there, but I seen it pop up, and I was like, "Damn, hey, World Star going at what?" Then I watched it, and they showed a lot of stuff on there, man. What do you think about the documentary and the claim that he's an alleged informant?
I think it's an awesome answer to a person going on No Jumper and incriminating, insinuating Big U in a murder conspiracy. And that was such nasty police work. I think the documentary that showed up on World Star just kind of corroborates his character as a provocateur, an agent, somebody that's compromised integrity and character-wise when it comes to the street shit. I think they go hand in hand. What we saw him do on No Jumper speaks toward the individual that the documentary describes.
Now, we often go in on the No Jumpers, the Vlads and everything like that, and people on our platform don't like that. When we mention these names, we haters like a motherfucker. So we try to stay clear of that sometimes because we automatically look like a hater when we talk about this type of shit. But when you look at the root, when you look at the source, typically this type of bullshit goes on in those type of platforms. You got to ask yourself why. So who would, I don't want to say who would you blame, but is it fair to blame the source as well as the motherfucker who's giving the information? Because they wouldn't have it if Wack didn't deliver it. But I don't think Wack would go on our platform and he wouldn't be allowed to go on our platform and spew that type of bullshit without
there you go. That's what you better say, because don't give him no credit.
Right. Nah.
Y'all have to definitely put your foot down.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't hold Adam accountable at all. Anytime a white man come knock on your door and you let him in, and he's one of one, and you let him come in your house and start manipulating and getting people doing some shit, you let him in the door. So if there's a problem, the problem is you allow him to be within your doors, and that's it. You cannot allow him in and then start getting offended by him being himself when who he is no motherfucking secret.
Yeah.
He's not offering anything except interest in what we have. He's not looking for artists to sign and make them rich. He's not looking for the best amongst us to blow up and make them famous. He does do a good at providing opportunities for people in the field of hip-hop journalism by hiring us. But his initial interest into this was a fan, a white boy that loved what niggas was doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what his interest was. So how do we allow that to turn into him being able to do things we don't like in our house?
Word.
That's our fault. It's our fault every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, his studio is in LA somewhere, right?
Burbank.
And
you know,
Burbank.
LA is like when you say New York.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. You feel me? LA County is what they usually refer to when they say that, and that encompasses a whole lot. So, but I don't want to get misleaded because that Pop Smoking shit type shit be happening out in Burbank too. So yeah. It's in LA. My bad. Go ahead.
The reason I was saying that's because like you bring somebody on your platform that's, you know, like you said, you know, putting Big U's name in things like he did something, wouldn't it be like a level of like if we was in this area and we was put somebody on blast out here that did something we probably would be in danger. We'll probably be thinking like somebody will try to come
definitely have to answer to it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see,
right.
That's when the guy is up there doing the police thing. Then behind the scenes, convincing Adam, you ain't no telling what type of police tactics he's exposing Adam to. He's man, like you, even the threat that you think would be there, your hands is tied because he's hollering so loud to the police. The motherfucking bro. My last time I went to jail in Burbank. That's where No Jumper at. Okay. Ask anybody what the white folks and the police think about niggas in Burbank. The footage is up on YouTube. You can see it. My whole arrest. Yeah. That's right around the corner from No Jumper. They do not fuck with niggas out there. So for him to be up there making all that noise and you think, oh, Adam might be in trouble, wisely so, ain't nobody coming up there playing like that, bro. For what? To go to jail? And Wack know that.
Right. Wow. That's why the shit look fishy.
Do y'all not remember Wack coming to the internet playing audio of the feds calling him, offering him alleged protection against Jay Prince?
Mm-hmm.
I heard that.
How much do we need to see to realize we dealing with a different type of goofy cookie, bro? He is nothing like us. It's different as we are with our dialects and our different ways from out the country. We all have an understanding that we are unison. We all don't. Nobody understands that in no region, bro. Who gets that? Where do you get away with that and still be able to get online to all of us and anybody believing who you're supposed to be? You met Hassandra Campbell over the phone and found yourself telling him nasty secrets about what you consider to be gay tapes that you watched 100 times. And you know Hassandra has a history of male and male sensual relations. Why are you having these conversations about gay footage of him? Why would they even come out your mouth? You don't even know this man.
Right. Now speak on that, though. Those rumors, I'm sure you know, being in that area, is there any truth to that, to them tapes?
I'm not finna stand out here and say, hell no, that shit ain't true. I don't know, though.
You don't know. Okay.
But I'll tell you this, even from what he described, him classifying it as gay was off base. Okay. A little too nasty, freaky for me. Not my cup of tea. But this nigga sitting next to Adam all day. Right. I just seen a video of Adam telling another nigga, you know that little thing where people be like, hey man, I broke up with my girl. Can you help me make her jealous? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. Then you get on the thing with the girl and be like, yeah, this who topping me off tonight. So it was a black dude. It looked like it was at a porn convention. I could be wrong, but he did Lena like that. And he asked Lena, like, can you help me make my girl jealous? And then he say, my bad.
No, you good, man.
He said, hey, this is gonna top me off tonight. Adam pops up out of nowhere over his shoulder, like, no, if she's gonna suck it, I'm gonna suck it.
Whoa.
So
fuck that.
These are the type of people Wack gets very, very, very close to. He's comfortable with. He'll be right after Adam did that. Wack is gonna be right back up there on that platform, letting Adam talk to him like a boy.
Which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And you know, I said something crazy yesterday. I was like, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Tom Campbell was right to expose that shit. As crazy as that sounds, because we do not agree with shit, but he fought fire with some heavier fire. because he probably would have been done to him first.
He played Wack goofy, yeah. But it just show you how loose he is at the jaw muscles. Everything he knows at the tip of his tongue.
Yeah.
If you realize his history with Cassandra Campbell, which was 0, it shows you how much he's willing to tell somebody he doesn't know. Yeah. And it blew up in his face.
It's crazy. So, all right, we got Wack, right? And in the grandest scheme of things, we talked about hip hop, cops, police, and everything, people infiltrating this game to try to tear us down. We talked about the conspiracies for 7 years on this platform. Do you think he's the only one, and how deep does this shit go? I guess let me ask you this. Why? Why is Wack 100 put in this place to do it? Is this something self-inflicted where he feels the need to go in here and do it, or just somebody bigger over top staring these puppets like, you know what I mean?
Well, shout out to Deuce M's. We learned recently not only has Wack been sexually violated since the age of 7 by his uncle.
Damn.
That's one issue that could be psychologically causing him to be having this crisis of identity, perhaps. But on a not so deep level, like I said earlier, from my perspective, Wack desperately desires or wish he had been a LA Compton gangbang rapper. And him trying to be the individual, he knew he could never be that, but to be viewed as such and be accepted as such, these are the things that he naturally did, thinking that's how he's supposed to be. So imagine a guy who's never had no respect throughout Los Angeles thinks the way you get respect is being tough. So he's never been able to be tough in person, but in the cyber world, it's my time. I can finally be tough with all these guys. I never had the courage to be tough with in person and convince the rest of the world because I know them. I'm one of them. I'm supreme amongst them. That's all it is, bro. He's an attention whore. He not fly at all. And instead of him being the biggest thing in the 818, which he probably is, but guess what? In his immediate street turf politics, he's not accepted. There's 1 in a million, because you can't never, of course, you always have somebody, but when it comes to his hood, the Pacoima Pyrus, it's 1 out of a million that fuck with him. The majority and the masses don't fuck with him. He got a whole lot of issues he got to see about just to even try to go over there and have some comfort. So he can't even be comfortable being proud where he's from, even though because they're not as well known, it's his time. Like you guys would not be so familiar with Long Beach. Had Snoop Dogg came out and claimed LA.
That's a fact.
So he had a chance to put Pacoima on the map, but he got so much Compton, LA dick in his mouth. Pacoima is still kind of obscure to the masses, and that's where he's actually from. And they get busy out there, probably in a smaller pocket than stretched out, but they have their own scene. They got riders, kingpins, rapists, busters, snitches. All this he like to talk about, he got all the San Fernando Valley in his area, but he don't talk about none of that.
All right.
He infatuated and fascinated with those that live my lifestyle.
Now, what is his? I know he manages the game. The game don't really co-sign him too much. How you feel about the game and their relationship?
Game don't fuck with him. He got the game by the nuts. Yeah, in a lot of little ways where game has to sit back and let it appear that they cool, but he can't trust game. You better not trust game.
Yeah, I was thinking same thing.
So why does and I mean, I don't know if you know, but why does he scream what he screams so much on Pyru if they don't fuck with him like that? Why does he feel so free to even run off? Is that a part of the character?
This is the question you keep asking. That it's the same answer to this.
Yeah.
He's behind the bars.
Yeah.
The protection. And then because guess what? The Pyru only means something to y'all. It don't mean nothing to us. To the real Pyru, that don't mean nothing. That shit don't mean. If you look at me, when I get on my platform, I'm on my mama. I'm not on Crip. I ain't on East Coast. I ain't on neighborhood. I ain't on nothing. I'm on my mama. And I can just be just as passionate with what I'm saying. Him being on Pyru is him trying to convince himself he's some brand of Pyru that matters and convince the world that his Pyru matters to some degree where we should acknowledge it. Don't nobody give a fuck about him being a Pyru. With your booty up, on camera, on the internet, talking sexy, late night, early morning on motherfucking Clubhouse with your belly on the motherfucking blanket. Stupid motherfucker getting 3 fingers. Shout out Mika. Shout out J Dig.
Indeed. Let's transition out of him real quick, man, because it's been a lot going on in the world since we last talked. And one of the things is Diddy, right? And I don't want to talk about Diddy in particular. You can if you want to, but I'm just want to talk about the industry in itself. You've been in it, you've been involved, you've seen these fucking wild parties. I don't know if you've seen the wild parties, but I'm sure you've heard of all this shit. How real is this shit when it comes to hip hop, the homosexuality when it comes to hip hop, motherfuckers not really being who they say they are, all that shit? What has your experience been like in the game when you were in it?
Now, I wish I could be like some of these dudes say, oh, I seen this, seen that. I have not seen. However, being close to certain situations and being aware and hearing things, I have a belief that, the freaking is deep. The one thing I could share, at one potential time, I was contemplating hiring someone as my publicist.
Yeah.
And they recently were coming out the closet. And one of the things they shared with me that blew my mind, I don't know if it's true or not, but they said it with a whole bunch of certainty. They said Redman and Method Man have been a couple as long as we've been aware of them as a hip hop duo.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so imagine that, hearing that from someone up until that point, everything they said has been credible to you. They've never had a reason to lie to you. You don't have a dynamic. They're a member of that side.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, who knows? But I can't say I know that to be true, but I can't say I just say I don't believe it either. Shit, you never know.
Yeah. That's hard to fucking believe, but it's a lot that's hard to believe that's been brought up as facts. Shout
out to Red Meth. I ain't saying I know that, y'all, but somebody putting that out there on y'all to the point where the dude told me this. See, the dude was coming out of the closet and he was married, going through a divorce.
Right.
So when I met him on the business meeting, I was suspicious of his gotta be careful. I use these words. His status, because the third party introduced us. We all had the general masculine appearance. When I shook his hand, we met. He said, "Yeah, I'm going through a divorce. My wife got 17 personalities and 15 of them can't stand me." I said, "Ooh, he's one." I just knew that. Bam.
Word.
So, but he had 2 young daughters, so it was like a throw off. So, when he told us a story about Red and Meth, the account happened was he said they were in a hotel somewhere. So Red Meth, y'all will know if this is true. They were in a hotel somewhere, and he was with his wife in the lobby, and he had a previous relationship with these dudes. He was still in the closet at this time. So, but he was industry savvy. His wife knew he dabbled in the industry. So they in the lobby. He said he see Red at the water machine, the fountain, or doing something in the lobby with a robe on. Yo, Red, what up? Whoa, what up, son? Whoa. Oh, you want to come upstairs and smoke one? Chief one. He like, sure, come on. He said when he looked over and tell his wife, come on, baby. He say, Red, and I'm going to tell you, I don't know if it was Red or Meth it was either or. He say, when he see him beckon his wife, come on, he say, he asked like, yo, she cool? He like, yeah, she cool. Now, mind you, at this point in her life, Red and Meth is this guy's wife's favorite group.
Okay.
Posters everywhere, according to him. So they get up to the hotel room, and this is what's reportedly took place. Red or Meth, whichever one it was, with the robe, walks in the room, derobes, butt naked, hop in the bed with the other Red or Meth, and that's how the session went. While they was butt naked in the bed, him and his wife, they smoked. He said when they left, she was so disgusted, she threw up, tore down all the posters. So that's the weirdest shit I heard about some people we really know and fuck with that I can't confirm.
Do you know
but
where
it came from someone I consider somewhat reliable, huh?
Do you know where that reliable source is now? Do you still hold status in the industry?
After I told the story, I'm expecting he'll pop up in my DM or something, getting on my case, or maybe not.
Right.
And we'll see. Yeah, I can tell you. I'm gonna tell you his name on the back end. You might want to track him down.
Say less. Gotcha. Holy shit.
Wow.
We've heard some stories, man. We've heard some stories about people in this industry, interviewers getting potentially somebody killed because of things that they've asked, and we've heard some wild shit. And I've seen some things personally with my eyes in some of the job positions I've been in with some names that I'll talk about on the back end too. But
what you just mentioned, your boy Vlad kind of like got a catapult from a similar scenario, asking certain questions, turned out to be a detriment physical situation, and then he took it legal.
Yes. We're not allowed to say his name on this platform because we
Oh,
hate
my
it.
bad. My bad.
We talk about Vladimir, and all of a sudden we haters and niggas trying to take his shit and all this other wild stuff.
My bad.
Look,
my thing with Vlad, I never get on the bandwagon of what everybody talks about, right? Because I have a personal thing with Vlad, so I don't want it to seem like I'm just on the bandwagon. So I never chime in to what the cultural issues are, although I agree with a lot of them. Right. But because my issue with him is personal about how he dealing with me in the industry, I don't tear down his inclusion because that would make my issue void.
Did you interview with him before? Or no.
Yeah, before that's the thing. When he was on Training Wheels.
Yeah.
And I gave him a big one. And then like now as he developed, it ain't no, it's over with. Like, just the normal nigga shit didn't take place.
Right. Yeah. That should have took place. What's up with you and Math, man? I seen you did a video. You weren't too happy with him. Well, what's up with you two?
Now, shout out to Math. This is my thing with me. I'm glad it's a good question, bro. I swear to God, this was not no preloaded question, Math. None of that.
Not at all.
Me and Math, really, I'm just a battle rap consumer, right? Okay. So I'm aware of Math just based on from the days of Dose and that's he is who he is. I kind of liked him. He got bars. Just he one of the fixtures in battle rap. I appreciate it. Whatever. Right. And one day he was way before he had his podcast. He said some shit like out of nowhere. He like, where that nigga Sparta Loke at? Yeah, son. Where's Sparta Loke at? Something. And then right here in the black box, I went on my live and was like, I'm right here. Nigga. I don't know who we both know, but eventually we was on the phone together like the next day or 2 days. And me and Math was cool. We talked about coming on each other's platforms and Couple days later, he went back on his platform and shouted me out and then said, yeah, but yo, son, why you always going at 50? I want to know that. After we had spoke on the phone, he didn't say none of that. But however, since then, his platform done went kaboom and all that, and we still cool. We text, we communicate a few times when things matter. And it's nothing negative or nothing. I seen the new shit he been going on with Sirius Jones and all that, but I ain't got no problem with Math. We haven't had enough interaction to maintain no type of negativity. But now that his platform is enormous, he seemed no longer in the transfer of presence on the platforms, though. The trade that we talked about. What up, Math? What up? Let's get back to that trade. Now, to be honest with you, I'll tell you what happened. Remember, I told you said that 50 Cent shit, right?
Yeah.
So once his shit blew $1 million worth of game, I'm like, shit, I'll come on there and answer them 50 Cent questions for you. And his response is like, Loke, you trying to get me in trouble. So I just left it alone.
Shit, you can't get in trouble on our platform. Fuck it. What's up with you and 50?
Oh, well, it's nothing really up. But, he asked. Remember, he was like, I told you he said that shit.
Yeah.
So I was just really just trolling, like, if you really want to know, let me get up in the barber chair. We didn't really have to discuss 50 at all. That was just my way of inviting myself for striking the conversation up.
Right.
Yeah. But we see what's up with 50. Getting a whole lot of TV money. And you know what he taught us? You're getting money. I can't get none with you, then fuck you. So shit. That's what he taught us. Shit.
You think that whole G Unit, like, obviously is dead or whatever, but if there was ever like a reunion tour, you think that could ever happen?
I think it could happen. I think it should happen. I think ego is stopping it from happening. And I think it's the same ego that ran it into the ground.
50.
Exactly though. Yes, Mr. Jackson.
But take us back. Take us real quick. Not gonna keep too much longer though. I don't know if we ever got the story from you. What happened between 50 Cent and Game? If you know, was the egos with that too?
Oh, that was a big ego battle with egos. Right. Triggered by Game initially, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
50 service Game as a CEO extremely well at a time when Game needed it the most. Mm-hmm. And I remember Game expressing to me how much he appreciated 50 coming in and saving this situation. Because me and Game was cool at a time when he was signed to Dre and extremely frustrated being on the back burner. And his common conversation was, I don't give a fuck if Dre drop me tomorrow. Puffy gonna sign me the next day. Because of a pre-existing relationship with Puffy that he had. He claimed to have partied for 2 years, just travel around and party with Diddy. He's into the Diddy parties long ago. Right after his male stripper years, but I don't want to get off track. So at that time in his career, 50 Cent swooped in, saved him, put his situation together, and Game was calling 50 the realest nigga he ever met in the game for a long time. when he realized this wasn't a bromance and a love affair, and that his deal through 50 didn't cause him to be viewed as a equal to 50, his ego was bruised.
I think that might have. See, during that time when we watching, Game was the hottest fucking thing smoking, boy. When he came out, that motherfucker was on fire. And then when he started beefing with 50, because I remember I was a huge 50 fan, but I rock with Game on that situation because I was just such a fan of Game. Did that hurt him?
Hurt 50?
Hurt Game.
Hell yeah, hurt Game on my mama.
Yeah.
Dead homies, daughters, lokes, loved ones, everything I love and live for, sons and sister. The nigga Game called me. I remember being overseas. Called me like, hey man, if you can, please holler at 50, man. Tell him I throwing a white towel. He said, man, ain't none of these white folks ain't fuck with me because I ain't fucking with him.
Yeah.
And I try to patch it in for him, and 50 be like, I'm not gonna respond. I'm not gonna take the call. You know why? Because he'll be back on stage saying something different tomorrow. And lo and behold, this nigga Gang would be on the stage the next day with somebody in a rat costume beating up the rat or something. With G-Not t-shirts on. So yeah, it hurt him a lot.
You could tell because although like the consumer, it was popular, the shit. You know what I mean? We loved the blood and the bullshit. It seemed like Game's rise kind of stalled right there. All the mixtapes and 100 bars and running was dope, but it seemed like his career trajectory kind of said plateaued.
Well, I know y'all viewed it as dope because it's like y'all watching Mr. Society and thinking O-Dog is a gangster. I mean, Lorenz Tate is a gangster.
That's a fact. Yeah, it is.
You feel me? That's why. But we knew he was corny as fuck. But a lot of people out here still appreciated it because it was a shot for the section.
Right.
He's putting on for the section. But dude has always been viewed as a cornball around us. Always.
Yeah, throughout the years on the podcast, you kind of seen it when he beefed with Meek and then all that shit in Philly and then the little shit. You know what I mean?
But way before all that. You don't remember him standing up against that chain link fence with the butterfly on his face crying because he don't like the state of hip-hop? Man, I wasn't made for this hip-hop, man. This when you was liking him. This is G-Unit days when he was beefing with 50. This the game you chose. Man,
I did. I fucked with him. I did.
Hip-hop, man. I should have been back in another hip-hop, man. Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Damn.
So talk real quick, man. You put a video out. I don't know if it was a police video of you getting
body cam footage, man.
Body cam footage, right? You got arrested, right?
Yes, sir.
That they had a drop. It's like they had the drop on you, man.
Nah, what happened was my oldest son, who happens to be a correctional officer at San Quentin, shout out Steve, love you, boy. Ever since high school, man, this nigga been, oh man, I can't wait. I want a G8. I'm gonna get me a G8. They so cool. I don't know what the fuck a G8 is. When he first got to school, he bought a Pontiac G6. Okay. He bought the G6 and he talked about the G8. He said, man, they don't make them no more. I don't want me a G8. Lo and behold, the nigga got his dream car. He bought that motherfucker. It got pipes. I see the stickers and shit on it. Ain't my shit. It's low all the way to the ground. Every time you step on the gas, motherfucker sound like a... I never touched the motherfucker in my life. One day in 2022 summer, I needed to get low key, I thought, for whatever reason. He way up in San Quentin. Son, can I jump in your shit? Yeah, go ahead, Dad. I jump in it. I'm in it for a few hours. Right. I'm out the way, like I told you where I was. I never told this story. I'm gonna tell you what was really going on. It was a lot going on in the streets, period. Okay. So some shit in my head. Whoa. I'm on the lap, man. I'm on the lap. I got the ear pod in. Talking to my homie Lil Slim Bad from 5'9". He doing life on a 4-yard. So it's like the middle of the night, talking to my nigga, just left one location, going to see another location. You feel me? Soon as I get in the car, he got the jet black tints on the shit. In my mind, I'm in a low key. I'm not in my car, so I'm ducked off. Right. It's a low key. I know everything, plates, tags, everything cool. I'm not tripping. So I'm rolling. I got it on the lap. They in an unmarked SUV with no it's the charcoal gray joint with the all black tint. So all you see is the shape of SUV. You can't see it's the people's.
Right.
So they geeked up on the car. I'm not knowing this. They own the car. If you watch the video, you see how they was talking about the car at the end. They own the car. So but that's causing them to do some goofy shit and not pass me. And I'm going slow as fuck. So as they start approaching me, I'm on the lap, like telling the homie, like, so they go when they get like to my back door, they still not even with me. The windows start coming down. Now I'm low key cracking my window. When I crack the window to see what's up, the first thing I hear is nice car. So I kind of relax and look that way, and I see it's the people's. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, oh, thank you, man. Y'all scared the fuck out of me, man. Good looking.
Right.
When they seen me, the image, and I swear to God, it wasn't lit, but I had one of these in my mouth. He seen all that, they immediately blurt me. I'm too spooked to try to really tuck it somewhere. I done did something real quick. That's why he found it so fast. Because when I went to try to tuck it, I dropped it, and now I couldn't do nothing. I didn't want to be doing all that. So he get me out, and she sat me down. As soon as he get there, it was right there. It was right there.
Well, ain't the shit legal out there?
I've been going to prison, not for ex-cons, my nigga.
Oh.
Look, I thought it was somebody trying to give me some problems. I'm cracking my window. It's on my lap. I'm thinking I'm finna have to get busy, and it's the police, boy. Y'all don't know, nigga. I was loaded. I was more worried about another DUI than I was worried about getting caught with that pistol. When they
hit you more for it was weed and the pistol, right?
The weed, we got throughout. The weed is legal. That's what you was talking about. Yeah, the weed legal.
Right.
That was a waste of time. That got throughout before my first court date.
Right, you talking about that thing?
It's the pistol. Yeah, it was the pistol that I had to ride out. I had to take a joint suspension, probation, and all that. Joint suspension is they sentence you to a prison term and suspend it, and you have to do it. You have to do it on the streets. And if you get in any trouble within that time frame, you do the remainder of the time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Glad to hear you got about that shit though.
Yeah, I was so man. I couldn't believe I was on my way to prison at this time, and I can't believe I'm old enough to the point that now I was able to avoid prison because my last conviction was over 27 years. God damn. The court was looking at me like, well, you haven't been in prison in over 20 years. That just sounds crazy to me, bro.
And the fact that you went to prison 20-some years ago still had you threatened to sit back and then sit behind bars right now. That's fucking crazy. Talk about that, bro, and how that's not.
You just made me realize how fucking crazy it is.
That's crazy.
I think we need to have some type of 20 years should be enough to get all your rights back, gun right, and everything, bro.
Yeah.
You're a different person. You're a whole different human being 20 years now.
It shouldn't be, maybe give it 10, bro. Because they 10 years. Come on now, because it's like, I don't think it's fair at all. I don't have the verbiage or the legal knowledge to try to attack the laws from a position of intelligence on that form. However, just logically, it's not fair to the person who's lived. There should be an amount of time you should be able to live as a productive citizen to where you can be revived.
Word.
Right.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right, man. We definitely appreciate you, Spider, on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, man. Much love, bro. Like we said in the beginning, I don't know if this was on camera or off, but anytime you want to come on this motherfucking platform, you have a platform. Call us, and you on the same day, bro. We definitely appreciate you. Appreciate how real you are. Appreciate how you treated us over the years, man. Thank you. Before we get up out of here, man, to let the people know where they can find you. Let the people know about your platform. If they don't know, let them know.
Of course, the Instagram is where I hang out a lot. IG at SpiderLoke Most Easty, the number 7 on YouTube. The channel was just youtube.com/SpiderLoke Most Easty, where Black Box production goes up. We got a podcast called Facts Over Feelings. That's facts spelled with a Z, OVA, and feelings spelled with a Z with no G. Facts Over Feelings. There's clips of it. We do release on the Street TV platform on YouTube. However, it is an official audio effort, and you can find all the full episodes where you can download or stream any of your audio podcasts. And those are things we're focusing on right now for the near future. My premier artist on Baymac Entertainment is Blue Smurf, Music and Money, coming soon. Followed up with Nate Nitty and Noonie Green as my other 2 artists, and we just pushing. We Baymac and keeping it positive and productive.
Anytime you want to get them on, let us know too. Go
one more thing, man. I know you got to roll. What happened with you and Cowboy?
Absolutely nothing. What happened with Cowboy is he went viral for getting on the stand, which is in a murder, violating all the rules we live by. Wow. I covered it like you did and all the other people that consider themselves journalists at this point in life. My perspective was from the perspective of everyone who lives the life that we live, and he took it personal.
Which is crazy because he said, we asked him about it, he said he wouldn't. He understood, but he was going to do what he had to do.
Yeah, my at one point, I was a lot more comical and dragging on here. And at that point, I was calling him Thunder Rat and Cowgirl, and I was exploiting my relationship with Nipsey Hussle. I think that got under his skin.
Yeah.
So I kind of understood why he took it more personal for me than others.
Gotcha. Understood.
So would you consider Gunna a rat too?
Man, it's not about my consideration, because that's what the problem is. We leave this subject matter up to who considers this, who considers that. If you and your partners is charged with being in a criminal organization that your partner, the head of it, is claiming is a label, and the only way you can get out is going on record declaring that it is a criminal investigation, criminal organization. I mean, what question is that? I don't get the question.
I agree with you.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's cut and dry. It's black and white.
Yeah.
If we can find some way to look at that another way, we can look at every situation another way.
That we're gonna leave it alone, man.
The premier allegation of the RICO is YSL is a gang. Come on, bro. It's cut and dry.
Cut and dry.
Yeah.
Definitely
And
appreciate
that vicious, bloodthirsty DA bitch was willing to give you your freedom just for that statement. You got to quantify the statement by that. What did you look what he was willing to trade it for?
Yep.
He won't be the same. I think deep down he can deny it all he wants, but he got to sleep on that. He got to look himself in the mirror when it comes to that.
I want to shout out Big U again, because he went public co-signing Gunna's statement. And at the time he said that, he was like, shit, I don't see where Gunna bad. If Gunna bad, show me. I'll start fucking with him publicly. And I went on my platform and I presented it in totality. And we've yet to see Gunna publicly with Big U since. So shout out to the big fella for standing on principles on that, because he didn't quite see it the way it should have been seen initially. But once a nigga tap him on the shoulder and we had that little powwow huddle, us programming accordingly too.
As he should.
That's why I love grown man shit, man, because we can be wrong, but you know what I mean? Somebody grown, hold them accountable or let us know, then we got to stand on that. And that's what I appreciate, man. That's why I always appreciated your ass, man, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, bro. Keep doing what you do.
Likewise.
Got the number, man. Do your thing, bro. Spider Loke on the Hip Hop Essential Podcast, bro. Salute.
Yeah, y'all niggas like me. The numbers don't change. You don't change them numbers, bro. I like that.
Hell no.
Yeah.
They stay the same.
All right, much love.
Stick around 1 second. Stick around 1 second.
All right.
Let me end this, y'all. Should be off for 1, 2.